Guys, it's Gravidia, so back again for another card fight Vanguard deck profile. So if you guys enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. And let's get one started. Today, we have Brandt Gravidia. So, Gravidia. This is a deck I have a grudge against because, like, a little backstory. The day it came out, well, not maybe the day, but like the week it came out, me and Mandala, the friend that does sometimes the deck profiles, if he decides to help or not, and test play friend, he decided to play this deck, and he has killed me every time with it for the single line of manifest my destiny, and it's always either with the, most of the time it's been with the over trigger, and the other time it was like with a crit and just another trigger. I forgot what it was. Maybe it was a heal, but I have a grudge against this deck because of that, and every time I try using it, I mean, it still works, but I just have a slight grudge because it's Also, I realized that today when I was doing this, when I was setting up for this deck profile, the deck was illegal because I accidentally ran 5 copies of Gravidia Wells. I don't know if we encountered that during the time of recording. I think we were against Bruce. Maybe it was encountered. I'm not so sure. But there was 5 Wells, so I just swapped it out for an extra Meteor. So just a little backstory. So if you notice that in the video, I do know it now. I just didn't know before that there was an accidental 5th copy somehow. So let's go ahead and get it started because this is a fun deck. If you're not playing against it. We have our starter in Gravidia Dellen, 6k base, 5k shield, grade 0 with boost, auto when it's rolled upon. If you win second, draw a card. Nothing too special about it. Standard starter, you just get a draw. Unfortunately, it's not like the Bazvagra, whatever you pronounce it as. I know it's pronounced correctly as Bazvagra, but I prefer Bazvagra because my mouth is used to it. So unfortunately, it's not like their starter, where you don't, like, it has no purpose inside the deck because you can run any starter and it wouldn't affect it. But I like it because it fits the Ride Lines theme and it is a part of the Gravidia line, so that's who the starter is today. And it's a standard starter. It also looks cool, though. I don't know why. It looks like a mini Messiah / Mew from Pokemon. Now into triggers, we have our over trigger and Star Dragon Deity of Infinitude, Eldobreath. The thing that hates me, because I've pulled this off a grand total of twice, I think, maybe once or twice. I know guaranteedly once, but I think it may have been twice. And then every other time I've damage checked it, and I would always lose because I need to drive check it. And this thing has killed me every time I've played against Gravidia, except for one. I don't know why I was called a Grador. Over trigger, remove it from the deck. An over trigger, you may have one in the deck. When reveals a trigger, remove that card, draw a card, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 1 million for the turn. If revealed during your drive check, activates additional effect. Additional effect is double the power and critical of all former units until end of turn. Increased to double its power and critical when activated. So that means the 1 million gets put on a unit, and then that 1 million gets doubled guaranteed, followed by that unit's critical, so it's at least a critical of 2 with 2 million power, and then the rest of your front row, which is probably even bigger too. And what's even worse is Gravidia can double this, which means 2 units will get 2 million, and that entire effect goes off. So the 1 million happens twice. The draw 1 for each happens twice. So you draw 2 million to someone, or 1 million each to people, and then the double. So your front row is hitting for the millions, which is very annoyingly hard to deal with. This over trigger is the pain of my existence, and every time it's checked, I die. There was one time I survived because I literally prolonged the game to where I had enough PGs to survive it. I literally used 3 PGs in one go because I knew this day was coming and I waited for it. That's how I survived this, and I never did it again because I would always die before I got the 3 PGs. So 1 copy of Eldobreath because the annoying motherfucker keeps killing me, but also you're only allowed at 1 copy, but he's really good. We have 3 draw triggers in Cardinal, Fang, Fulgrus. Yes, I know. Why am I running draws in a deck that kind of decks itself out quickly? Here's why. For some reason, the draw triggers never show up, and when they do show up at the right timing, because even when you don't run, like, even if you run all, like, crit or, like, aggressive triggers, you need rear guards to actually take full advantage of them, and the draws help you, you know, make hand, call rear guards. Hell, they might survive your meteors. They could just go rush, like Final Rush Bruce. That wipes out a lot of hand cards. Orphis, depending on how much you took away from them and how much you gave them in terms of resources, they could wipe you out in one go, or almost wipe you out in one go. So all around, I think draw triggers are very helpful because they help add up to your hand, make guarding easier, and actually allows you to call units that you can take advantage of with the triggers. So 3 copies of Fulgrus, 4 copies of Cardinal, Draco, and Enpyro, 4k base, 15k shield, not 50k shield. Grade 0 boost, front trigger, continuous guard. If your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 good, it gets plus 5k shield. Standard 5k shield ability, nothing too special about it. You get that 20k shield. Really, it's actually mad helpful because you do have actually a lot of guarding power because you can nuke rear guards with meteors, which is for some reason the ability I always forget. And then you have just the shield. So 4 copies of Enpyro. 4 copies of Cardinal Draco Barbizonde as a crit, and 4 copies of Cardinal Prima Nabilem. Yes, I run the Cardinal trigger line because why not? And they're more like fitting because it feels more like they're aliens compared to the Royal Battle Princesses, and Gravidia doesn't have trigger lines. So, you know, we run Rainbow. I prefer this way because the fronts add power, the crits add pressure. This makes everything hell to guard, and this actually gives you the materials to call rear guards. And this gets very annoying if they just start healing early. If they go 5 meteors first turn, when they're at 3 damage and you're at 1, swing the van, double heal. Well, you're down to 0. Very annoying to deal with. So yeah, that's the trigger lineup. Comment on that if you will. If you want to, go ahead. On to the grade 1s. 3 copies of Gravidia Orgueil. 8k base, 5k shield, grade 1 boost. I also just remembered an important fact. This deck, in my opinion, cannot hit numbers if you do not see triggers. Like, this deck actually needs triggers to hit decent numbers. In my opinion, like, in comparison to Orfist, yeah, this deck needs triggers, especially if you're on Gravidia. You need to use its skill if you want to hit really good numbers. That's when you kill people. Otherwise, it's not that much pressure. Persona Ride adds pressure, but if you don't Persona Ride and you don't see triggers, your opponent's not struggling at all. This deck's really easy to stop. And it's not like that with every deck. Like, Orfist can swing really big numbers regardless of those things, but this deck dies without them. Anyways, Orgueil, 8k base, 5k shield, grade 1 boost. Auto rear, when this unit attacks or boost, if your order zone has 3 or more orders, Soul Blast 2, countercharge 1, and gets plus 5 for the turn. Okay, you have plenty of soul. If you use this maybe at the start of the game, like at grade 2, you're not going to have any soul for this because normally you run out of soul. But you get a countercharge if you do it late game, which is kind of helpful. You don't use up that much counter blast, but it's kind of helpful in the sense that, hey, you're getting a counter charge out of it, and it is a plus 5, and you can just boost it, attack with it, so like have 2 of them in the same column, soul blast 4, and you got a plus 10 to that column, so it's a 26k swing. So all around, really nice grade 1 to have 3 of. 4 of Violate Dragon, 6k base, grade 1 boost, 0 shield. Get you send them, you have to 4 copies of this in the deck. Auto, when it's put on guard circle, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit down to battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So standard PG, nothing too special about it. And now we have our main grade 1 of the ride line, Gravidia Wells. 8k base, grade 1 boost, 5k shield. Auto, when this unit is placed on van, look at top 7, reveal up to any number of meteors, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So really nice, because that is a guaranteed free meteor get. And you don't have to pay any cost for that. You don't have to discard anything. Just on place, look at top 7, get any number of meteors. For some reason, whenever I see people do this, like they normally see 2 meteors from it. And then act rear once per turn. If your Vanguard's Gravidia Nordlinger, Soul Blast 1, choose up to 2 meteors from your hand, put them into order zone, and it gets plus 2. So a 10k base, that's fine. Like, it adds more guarding power, I guess. But also, that is different from playing like multiple orders a turn, because you can't play multiple orders a turn. You can only play 1 unless you're playing something from Lyrical that allows you to do that. But Gravidia Wells allows you to play more than 1 because it just says put them in the order zone, not activate them. I mean, they still go off, but you're basically getting to put them in the order zone and still play more orders that turn. So all around, really nice ability, easily spammable. You can even use it just to get power. And you have enough orders to do it. And it's also a really nice grade 1 because it has purpose outside of the ride line. It doesn't have some bullshit skill that just says when it attacks gets plus 2. I don't mean that thing from Bazvagara. I don't mean it that way. You're actually useful compared to everyone else. I'm just making a point. But yes, Wells is a nice grade 1, and I really like it. 3 of in the main deck, 1 of in the ride deck. 3 copies of Gravidia Stunnel, 10k base, 5k shield, grade 2 with intercept, continuous rear guard to guard circle. If your drop zone and order zone have a total of 5 or more set orders, it gets plus 5k power and 5k shield active on the opponent's turn as well. So 15k and a 10k shield, really nice. You know, 15k base, making it somewhat hard to hit. Not the hardest to hit, like it's really easy to get over, but it has reasons to be fodder now for attacking into, and it's a 10k shield. So all around, really nice grade 2 to have, 3 of. 4 copies of Gravidia Barringer, 10k base, 5k shield, grade 1, grade 2 with intercept. Auto, when it's placed on van or rear, if you have a meteorite in your order zone, so you just have to have a simple 1 of them. Soul Blast 3, draw a card, and it gets plus 5k for the turn. Okay, out of all the Brandt Gate ride lines, this is the only one that doesn't guarantee you a search of the order. I mean, this one gets you a search. Where is it? This one gives you a search of the order, but it doesn't play it for you straight from deck like how Prison and Orpheus does. So you just have to get lucky in the top 7, but then there's also your 5 draw, followed by your 2 draw of the turn if you're going second. So you have like 12 cards to check for it. No, 14 cards to check for it, so it's doubtful that you won't see a Meteor. But in the off chance you don't, then this effect is useless. But every other time, every game I've seen a Meteor before this, so it's useful. So, you Soul Blast for 3, you draw a card, it gets +5. Really nice that can be used on Van and Rear for that. And it's just a free draw and continuous rear. If you're dropping orders on a total of 5 or more set orders, it gets +5 during active on both players' turns too. Just like this one, it's a 15k base on both players' turns. Doesn't get extra shield though, but hey, when you place it on your turn, it's a 20k swinger. So really nice to have 3 of in the main deck, 1 of in the ride deck. Really nice. And now we have our only grade 3 in our main grade 3, Gravidia Nordlinger. Yes, I don't run the grade 3 that's an on hit. It just doesn't have a purpose for me. 13k base, grade 3 Twin Jet Persona Ride. Auto when it's placed on Van. So you have to 2 Meteorites, put them into your order zone and shuffle your deck. So automatically, just on place, get 2 Meteors for free, and then you activate their abilities. Unfortunately, how Meteors work, their second part of their effect is sealed off to be only used when the Vanguard places them by an effect. So while that's useful, things like Wells cannot do that, unfortunately. But Nordlinger is still good because it allows you to get 2 free orders for no apparent reason just by being placed. And Auto Van, when it attacks, kind of about to want to put 1 or more of your Meteorites from order zone into drop. Until end of battle, this unit gets +15. If 3 or more were put, it gets a crit. And if 5 or more were put, you activate trigger effects twice. Yeah, this thing's annoying. So automatically, if you use the skill at all, it's a 28k swing. If you put 3 or more, it's an extra crit with that. So 28k double crit, possibly on your opponent's grade 2 turn. And if you put 5 or more, it's extra triggers. And if you do that while they're at grade 2, they're probably going to say, fuck you, flip the table, and then leave, especially if they know you're going to sack triggers. And if you sack the over trigger during this, then you deserve to win because apparently you're an anime protagonist that can just break the game. So Nordlinger, all around really nice. Can search your deck even if you don't have orders just to shuffle it, so you kind of increase your chance of checking triggers. Followed by get you free to search just by being placed, and can just start kind of going along with the field. Like, unfortunately, you can't put orders in drop by other means, so they're kind of useless if you don't have Nordlinger. So hopefully they give us a budget Nordlinger soon. But hey, still a good ability. And I like how none of the ride line requires the other parts to actually do something. I mean, this requires Nordlinger to do its second effect, but it's still nice to have that, like, the ride line being consistent and not requiring each other to do something of use. So 4 of Nordlinger, 3 of in the main deck, 1 of in the ride deck. And we have our last card and our I would argue to say, like, this is the main card of the deck. Like, yeah, Nordlinger may be the thing on Van, but this thing is required for, like, all of the deck to go off minus the PG. Did I read the PG now I think about it? Did I? Did I? And I just don't remember, or did I skip over it? I don't remember. But anyways, I've said many things about the PG. Normally it's the same thing. So if you don't know what I said about a PG, go look up a random video and you'll probably get the same response. So anyways, Neatness Meteor Shower. I mean, a random video from my channel anyways. Grade 1, normal order, set order. The order that is needed for all of these things to go off, 11 copies. I used to run it at 10, but then I realized I only had a 5th, well, somehow, and I just ran this at 11, because fuck it. After set order is played, it goes to order zone. Continues, you may have up to 16 copies of this thing in your deck. Why 16? Like, I understand 15, because that means you can activate Gravidia's full skill total of 3 times, but why 16? Why the extra 1? Why? Just, like, for consistency's sake? Just in case? I mean, that's why I run the extra 1, just in case you can't hit all 10. You have the extra 1 right there, so if you can get it out of deck, that's good. So, auto, when it's put into order zone, you may soul charge 1, and then if it was put by your Vanguard's ability, draw a card. Okay. Now, that is a may clause. You do not have to do either of those. But my friend, Mandala, the reason why he keeps killing me is because his exact words is, deck thinning is deck winning. So he does it anyways, and half the time he does soul charge triggers from it, but he never hits the over, and then when he actually uses this thing's full effect, I die to the over. So, questionable, because it actually decks him out really quickly. Like, he gets to 9 deck cards, probably by second grade 3 turn, honestly. So, if you want a good way to deck thin, and if your luck is really good and you have a good chance of keeping triggers in deck, go with that plan. Just use soul charge and draw a bunch, because it allows you to do a bunch of soul blasting later on with things like Wells and just get more power, and Barbinger and Orgueil over there. followed by, you know, getting your draw when you place it by the Vanguard's ability, which is really helpful, and auto when it's put into drop from the order zone, choose an opponent's rearguard and kill it. Okay, so, you know, if you use Nordlinger with this at all, it's an immediate kill 1 at the very least. If you put 3, you kill 3. If you put 5, you kill 5. So, my problem with this is, though, there's only one card that can put stuff from order zone to drop right now, and that'd be Nordlinger. So, automatically, if you don't have Nordlinger, you can't use it. Unless they make a budget Nordlinger, then I'm fine with that. But my other problem with this is ever so slightly different, which I completely forgot the point of. How did I forget the point of my own argument? But either way, this order is really good. It's nice that you can kind of just start killing rear guards, get those soul charges, get those draws, all around interesting order. I feel like the deck doesn't focus on what it says though. Like, I remember when Gravidia was released, their blurb was the meteorites. They use meteorites to kill rear guards. And yet I feel like you don't highlight the meteorites kill rear guard effect because in my opinion, that's the most forgettable effect. Like, me and my friend have test played so much with this deck, and yet we constantly forget that ability. And I've seen other people also test play and forget that ability, while like you more focus on Gravidia's triggering effect of getting more trigger effects. So that's my thing with it. But also, it is good for strategy. Like, I remember in the recording, and this is my point that I meant to bring up earlier, where against Bruce, I was going to lose, and I didn't have enough orders to get the extra crit, but I still sacked 2 orders just so I can kill 2 rear guards, because, A, you might as well do it. Even if you're not getting extra benefit out of it, you're killing a rear guard. So, I like the order. It's really nice. Can kill rear guards, get you an on-place effect, and can be spammed like hell. So 11 copies of the order, just in case you can't get that 10 off really easily. And that was the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. It is really interesting. In my opinion, I've had bad luck with this deck, but like Mandala goes ham with this, and it's very scary. Like, any deck that I give him that has any form of decking out potential, he will use, and he uses it really well, and yet really stupidly. He uses it in the, if we look at it logically, he uses it so stupidly, but somehow it turns really good when he uses it that way. But then when he uses it like how a normal person would use it, it goes really bad. I don't understand it. Like, he has a gift of some kind that allows this to occur. What is it? I don't know. Maybe it's the mandala effect. Ha. Get it? Get it? I kind of made a reference to something, but, I made a reference to something, but it's fine. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, donate to the Patreon, join the Discord, follow the Twitch, and I'll see you all in this one. Don't forget to stand up your vanguards.